Okay, so this is our final capstone project that I did this cohort where I really wanted you guys to put in motion what you have created over these past 6 months. But before we get into that, I just want to kind of acknowledge what has happened inside of this cohort. I have notes. Okay, so we had 30 people join this cohort. I've done this 6 times. So we had 30 people that joined this cohort. Out of those 30, 18 came in as brand new business owners, like not with a business, but with just an idea. And today they're walking away with structure. And so I want to talk about these results because, yes, money matters, but the money is a result of what you do consistently. So out of those 18 people, seven have been generating consistent four-figure months since March. We started in January, and so now we are in June, and so they have been hitting consistent seven four-figure months since March. That's 4 months of consistent revenue after starting from nothing. Two have already had five-figure months, right? But here's what matters just as much because these are the activities that create the money. Five participants hosted at least one free training every month. 10 participants booked at least three discovery calls. That means that you consistently ask for the sale and you got three consistent discovery calls. And beyond that, right? Multiple participants created and launched their first offer, built and published their first sales page, implemented a full onboarding process, moved from thinking to actually operating, started tracking leads and conversion, and shifted from inconsistency to structure. And because this is the truth, right? Money is the goal, but money is not where it starts. It starts with structure, consistency, execution, and showing up. So we all joined this program with good intentions, but not everyone finished, right? We all start programs. I've joined many programs, okay, and I've paid my money and I've like, okay, I'm going to do it. And then you just don't, right? And so not everyone finished, but when it's time to be seen and put in the work, you guys have put in the work. Showing up is the difference between having information and getting results. And when you actually put in the work, the results show. So I just want to commend you guys for that because you guys are in those numbers. Okay. So why I created four figures first, right? I wanted to share why I created it because when I first started, everybody was talking about six and seven figures, and I think that sounds good, but it wasn't for me. It wasn't a reality. I started my business October 19th, 2012, and I started this program called the Employerpreneur Program, where it was for 9 to 5 workers that were starting their own business while still working their 9 to 5, right? And I started that October 2014, so I was still fresh, wet behind the ears, starting as an entrepreneur, but I had enough. I felt to now coach other people who are just like me start. Now, I've been in business since I was 18 on and off, but I went full time October 19th, 2012, and I think I was like 24, 25. But since 18, I've been dabbling into entrepreneurship. But four figures has always been the number for me. And four figures is what changed the trajectory of my entire life. Because making $1,000 to $9,999 a month consistently is not small, right? It's proof that you can actually do it, that it's a proven concept. And it also gives you stability because most of us come from corporate and we at least made, four figures a month at our corporate job, at least. And so when you're able to make what you make in your corporate job, in your business, that was four figures for me. Like I left corporate making $5,000 a month. And so that was my goal. And so when everybody was talking about six and seven and eight, I'm like, well, I just learned how to generate four. And it was when you start to learn four figures, you can make the five and the six and the seven because the foundation is found in the four. And so this program is very near and dear to my heart because it was where I once was. And it also is the foundation of how I've been able to grow and elevate the way that I have. And so that's why I created this program, not because it sounded good, because it was a need, right? And I wanted to give people a real starting point because how you go from quitting your job to making seven figures, I don't know. And I know that's the what we say on social, not what I say, what they say, but that's not. that's not realistic. And so we need to start from a realistic standpoint. I'm all for prayer and manifestation. I'm for all of the things. But I feel like as a business consultant, as a person of authority, you come to me for facts, forms, and figures. This is up to you to manifest and pray and do all of the things that you need to do to get you where you're trying to go. But you're paying a professional to be able to give you the advisement to get you to where it is that you're trying to go. And so I've been able to take my intellectual property and put that into the facts, forms, and figures. And I've been doing this program 6 times. And so the proof is in the pudding and that it works. So because you master 4 figures, I think everything else becomes a matter of just taking it to the next level. So that's why I created 4 figures first. That's why I'm going to continue to do it. I'm very thankful for you guys that have been into the program and that you've invested into this program. So let's talk about pitching. We had 13 people sign up, right? Out of 30, I had 13 people sign up for this pitch competition. And then as the days got closer, people started dropping out like flies. Okay, I was like, oh, I can't make it. Oh, I'm not doing it. And for whatever reason that was, I just want to commend the people who are going today because out of 13, we have 4. Okay, so I want to clap for the 4 that decided to just bet on yourself and just show up because out of 13 who said that they were going to do it, baby, 4 was like, I'm gonna do it scared and I'm gonna do it anyway, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. And I really want to commend you for that. Before we get into it, I want to talk about how I chose the trainers in this program. Takesha has been, she's my best friend, but before she was my best friend, she was my CFO. And she has been my CFO for 10 years. 10, yeah, 10. Do you think it's 10? Huh? You think it's 10?
How old is Cam? 9.
9. He about to be 10, right? So I was pregnant, so I was
So
like
10
10.
years, yeah.
She's been my CFO for 10 years. And when I met her, I was making consistent 4 figures, but I couldn't figure out how to get to 5, 6, 7. I couldn't. Like I had got myself as far as I can get to. And baby, I spend money like a girl on trees. Okay. Like baby, I'm going to spend it. I have no problem with making it, but I'm going to spend it. Okay. Nothing to show for it either but some bags, clothes, shoes. Like I'm going to spend all of. I'm going to make it at 9 o'clock, and it's going to be gone by 11 o'clock, and then I'm gonna make it again at 1 o'clock, and it's going to be gone by 3 o'clock. Like I could do it with my eyes closed. And she met me at that time when I was really in that hustle stage, and she took me from a hustler in my business to being a full-fledged entrepreneur that turned into me being a business owner. And it was because of her that I was able to, I've always had an office, but not the office that I want. Like I was able to get my dream office. I was able to hire, staff. I think at one point we had like 13 people on like payroll as like my staff. I was able to invest in my 401k. Like I was able to invest in other different things. Like I was able to hire, I was really able to operate as a CEO in my business because I surrounded myself with someone that knew more than me in that particular arena and saw the vision of where it was that I was trying to go. But I had to be vulnerable in my situation to let her know, like, hey, this is what I have, this is where I'm trying to go. And it took discipline and consistency, but also me being in my lane of genius and letting somebody else be in their lane of genius. And so I feel like me as a consultant, I needed an advisor to be able to advise me. And so I make no financial decisions in my business at all. Every deal I've had, every client I've had, every contract that I've had, every level that I've done, we collaborate and we talk about it and partner together. And if she say no, it ain't a good idea and this don't really make sense, then it's a no. If she say don't invest in that, no. If don't launch that, no. So she's been very instrumental, but she's not only my CFO, like she's in charge of millions of dollars every single day as a controller and as a CFO in other people's businesses, multi 6, 7 figure earners, 8 figure earners. She's worked with a lot of celebrities. And so, she has the intellect to be able to take the money that you make and see where you're going, and with the right plan and with the right discipline and just with the right strategy and you being coachable, she's able to get you to that level. And so I wanted her to be in this. You sound good, don't you?
I
Baby,
know, like,
baby
I want to
sound
hire me. Like, damn,
baby,
she's
right?
good.
You know, like she gave me the confidence really to just go after the bigger things because I wasn't financially thinking about it on my own. Like I'm really good at thinking, planning, strategy, putting together. I'm really good at making the money too, but figuring out how your money is going to work for you, I didn't have that intellect, and I didn't want it either. Like I think that's the thing too. Like I didn't want that. I was cool with hustling. I was cool with getting out here and making this money and doing what I needed to do because that's what I love. Like that is what feeds me. Like, I love the sales. I love to talk about what I do, how I do it, why I do it. I love the sales pages. I love to go in there and see my bank account go up every single day. Like I am that girl. However, to elevate and get you to where you're able to pay your mama house out, buy you a new house,
Yeah,
invest in how you want to go, you have to have someone in position that can or that have already done it, but also they see something in you to help you to be able to do it too. And so I tell you all the time, like you need a running buddy, and she was my running buddy during that time because as she see the transactions coming in, she like, oh boom, now we can get an office. Oh boom, now I'm putting money up here. Okay, oh now you can hire that assistant. Okay, now you can hire the social media person. Okay, now you can hire the data analyst. Ooh, like okay, now you can take the vacation. Like no, you need to go harder for these next 6 months. Like it was that drive of knowing what I wanted to do and being able to um encompass somebody who has already done it and who desires to see you to get there. And I feel like her being a CFO, but also the mindset work. Like she is a mindset coach too with all of the certifications and all of the schooling. Like she believes that women deserve to be wealthy. Like she deserves that
yeah,
we are our own financial plan. Like she believes that we are to be, wealthy women from all aspects, from a mental, physical, spiritually, financial, like all of the things. And so I wanted her to pour into this community to give you the financial aspect, but also the mindset part that goes with it, because that's what took me to the next level, not the working part. It was the mindset part that really shifted my ability to get me to the next level. And so I wanted her to be in the program. You got something to say?
no,
Boom,
I'm
wrap it up.
good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Karen. Karen is a secret threat. Like I feel like she has so much knowledge as working in tech from a corporate standpoint and working in these Fortune 100 and Fortune 500 companies and be able to really break down this techie thing that we don't understand into a 1, 2, 3 step that can get you to where it is that you're trying to go. And I love the way that she deliver it, and I love the way she shows up, and I love the way that she has compassion for the people that she works with. And I love the fact that she wants everybody to win at whatever level that they're on, right? And I love that she can take your one thing that you did great from your tech standpoint and just magnify that into 30 different ways. Like I love the way she is nurturing and the way that she takes time to be able to make sure that everybody gets it. And I don't have that ability because I'm not a coach. I'm a consultant. I want to give you the facts, forms, figures, advice. Boop, I'm gone. I'm not a coach. I don't have that. I don't have it. I'm straight shooter, right? But Karen has that compassion and just empathy of you can do it. Like it let me slow down to be able to show you how to do it. And she came to me as a client years before, and I helped her to be able to put the strategy and the systems and processes in her own business so that she can take it to the next level. But then it was like, no, like I need you to pour into my people so they can be able to get this information too and this intellect too. And so she has been training in a lot of my programs. Takesha has too. But I feel like them two together, where I'm giving the strategy, the advisement, the facts, forms, and figures, and then Takesha is giving the financial aspect, but also the mindset, and then Karen is giving just the systems and the tech part. Like I felt like it was just a match for me to know. I know what I know, and I know what I don't know, and I'm very good at knowing what I'm really good at, and I know where I need help, and I think that that's a strength that I have, is to know where to put people and to know where I'm the Beyonce of what it is that I do, but I also need Beyonces in their industry, and I feel like they have that, and I trust them. Like I don't trust a lot of people with me, and with my people and with my reputation, because you know when you start inviting other people into your ecosystem, their reputation follows you, and so I'm very picky and very particular about who I invite into my ecosystem. And them too, like all day, like hands down, it has been just a match. And so I wanted to bring you people who I've spent money with, who I don't mind vouching for, who I don't mind endorsing, who I don't mind bringing clients to, who I don't mind to put in front of my people, because I'm very, protective of my people and my reputation, and it was them. And so I feel like this program really allowed you to be able to see where you are, but also if you put in the work where you can go. Because I know you were at 4 figures, right? But you can make the 5 and the 6 and the 7, and you can see those people that are doing those particular numbers, and you can talk to these particular people, and they really want to be there. Like that's my thing too. They really want to be here. Like every time I've done different programs, they're like, "Well, how can I help? Like, how can I support? Like, what is it that you need?" And so I really just, wanted to give them their flowers and let you guys know that I really appreciate you for always supporting me, and everything that I do. Like I know I know I'm not the easiest to work with, but I appreciate you guys for really, supporting the vision of all of my programs, but definitely pouring into 4 figures first, because this is a very different program than all of the other programs that I run. It takes a lot of patience, and it takes a lot of consistent reiteration, and it takes a lot of compassion and empathy from this particular standpoint. And I wanted people who had what I did not have, because I don't have those tools, but I wanted those people to give you the tools. And so that's why I have them in the program. Okay, y'all want to say something more? We can go. Y'all cool? You're right.
No, I just want to say something. Like when you said that, I'm like, I was a client too, though.
Yes, you
I
was.
started with us meeting in what Panera Bread, and she helped me. And I will say this, and I talked about this in my trainings. Like sometimes the overnight success really does happen that fast. Like it was one point I was literally like, I want to move to California, and she like, let's do it. And it was literally coming up with one offer, and 2 months later, I was making more than I was making in my job. 5 months later, I was in California.
Mm-hmm.
Like it happens fast. And I always say, like, my thing was I always had a best friend who had the strategy. My issue was never the strategy. It was always like, well, why don't I do the strategy? Like, why am I sabotaging? And when she said today, like 13 people signed up, 4 are left, I'm like, they sabotaged. They got in their heads before they could talk themselves into doing it, even scared.
Mm-hmm.
So I was once in y'all shoes, like not even 5 years ago. I think I've been here five
Mm-hmm.
years.
Mm-hmm.
So it does start with like the first 4 figures, because that was like my first offer. And I'm like, oh, I would never be able to sell this. Like nobody's gonna buy it. Then when the first person bought, I'm like, oh, well, shit, this is easy now. Like, I can do this. So I'm with Karen on, telling you guys, like, congratulations, but it's going to be a mental thing every single day to keep inviting people to work with you, keep doing it. Like, this is just the beginning of it. I promise you, this is just the beginning of it. And stay open to new opportunities, even if you feel like you're scared, even if you feel like you're not qualified, even if it's something like, what the hell is this? Like, it doesn't make sense. Those are, to me, is God like giving you an opportunity just to see if you gonna take it. Some of it's gonna be good, some of it's gonna be a learning experience, and some of it's gonna be like a great setup for something better.
Period.
That's all I got.
One more thing. Um,
Mhm.
you've probably, depending on how long you followed Bianca, you know that she's pivoted a number of times. I think the most important thing that I can reiterate that she's told you is don't be afraid to pivot. If
Mhm.
something is not working, find something else. Don't feel like you are forced to continue doing something because you spent money on a launch and now you feel committed to it. If it's not working, cut your losses and move on.
Amen. I'm professional. You know what? Takesha's like, we just spent all this damn money. I don't want to do it anymore. I quit. Like, do something else, you know? Like, hey, you know, we already got, I'm on my fifth business, okay? Like, and I'm transitioning out of this one and going to my next one, you know? Like, if it don't want to do something else, do it, you know? So, now that we got that out of the way, let's get to the pitch competition. Like, I'm super excited about this. We all have like a rubric. You know, I sent everybody a rubric of what I wanted us to judge on, what I wanted us to go over. I feel like um once you present, then I want to do like a little role play to kind of work through the business and what you have going. After everyone goes, then we're going to take a 10-minute intermission and then we're going to tally our scores together and then we're going to bring you guys back and then we're going to announce the winner. What you're competing for today is remember your investment. We talked about this on the first day. Whatever your investment is that you paid to the program, you're competing to get your investment back. Okay, so don't be nervous, but also I don't know you and you don't know me. So don't pitch like you know me and you know us. We don't know each other. We are strangers and we have just met and we're trying to really understand who we about to invest this money into because what we're giving you back is your investment that you paid in. So we're paying for the product and or service that you are about to pitch. This ain't hey girl hey. Like this is very much so this is who you are. This what you do. This what you got. This why you the best. Like pop your shit. Like I'm very excited for it, and I want you to really. And also the caveat to that, it's pitching season right now. Like Q3 coming up is pitching season, which is why I also wanted to do this. Once you pitch today here, you should be signing up for other pitch things. Like they have a lot of pitch competitions going on. You can Google it. Okay, there's a lot of them going on. Sign yourself up for them because once you do this, it's gonna be a different type of fire that is lit underneath you. And so that same energy that you have, that same cocky that you got that you about to display right now, send it out so you can now put yourself out there so you can use what you have been working on. You know, this could be a season for you to just really just pitch and see what you got. And I have my cocky seasons all the time. I'm just about to pitch to Google, about to pitch to MassCard, got MassCard, about to pitch, you know, to my CRM system. Visita is my CRM system. I pitch to them, work with them. They pitch me to Forbes and Black Enterprise, you know, and Entrepreneur Magazine and Wall Street Journal. And that's how I got into those because I pitched to my CRM system to work with them on the project. They had an opportunity for me as a collaborator with them, and that's how I got there. So you're one pitch and one client away from getting you to where it is that you want to be and where you're trying to go. So I don't want you to take it lightly that you have put in this work for these 6 months. Cause baby, you know how you get your hair done and you gotta go around and let everybody see your hair. It's like that. Like I didn't put in this work and I'm not going home because I just got my hair done and I got on my outfit and somebody gonna see it and enough people didn't see it. Like that's what we are right now. And so I want you to, you know, just zone out and we're gonna have feedback at the end. But I want you to open it and I want you to close it. And then when you close it, I'm gonna come in and I have questions. And Karen and Takesha might have questions too. But I don't want you to think about the question. Like I want you to articulate it as if you already know, right? I don't want you to be like, oh, I messed up, I'm stumbling. Like Just flow with it. Cause nobody knows you messing up but you. So I want you to, do your big one. Like you are worthy and deserving of this. I want you to do your big one, okay? So without further ado, Quincy, you first.
If you could have just seen the look on my face. Okay, let's do it. We're gonna screen share.
Okay.
I'm not new to this. I'm new to this, not true to this. Okay.
Okay.
Let's screen share.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the screen. And then this is what I wanna show, right?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We're ready. Let's put.
Okay. So, um, my name is Marquisa. And I am founder and owner of Credit in Motion. And tonight I'm going to present you guys with the blueprint. Basically, I am the credit improvement solutions specialist. Um, what is Credit in Motion? Credit in Motion is a credit education and registration restoration company dedicated to empowering you to take control of your credit and your future. What does that mean typically under credit and education? I basically teach you the knowledge, the tools on how to build strong credit and make informed decisions. Credit improvement. So when it comes down to credit improvement, I pretty much take a look at my client's profile and I know right off the back what they need to get started, whether it's a score increase, collections removed, they need to add loans or credit cards. I pretty much know firsthand what to do. I also give them personalized action plans when it comes down to their credit. So when they come to me, they're not only going to just sign up for a service, I'm going to teach them how to build and maintain. In credit repair, I am consumer focused. So during this service, you're going to get ongoing support and you are my first priority. So if you come to me and you say, Marquisa, I want to buy a house, I want to buy a car, that is what we are going to aim to do. Basically, that's just a quick breakdown of credit education, improvement, everything that I pretty much just said. How can my clients find me? They can find me pretty much everywhere. I do have a website too, in which I actually created myself, my Shopify and my stand store. I could be found on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Under the name Credit in Motion and on Google. Thank you. But that's how my clients can pretty much find me, creditinmotion.net. And then I have the stand store slash Credit in Motion. The enrollment process. So typically, and this is cute slides for y'all because I like to talk, but typically when a client signs up for a package plan, they'll go to creditinmotion.net. They will basically read the description as to what they feel, because typically when a client comes to me, they always say, I know what's on my credit and I don't need much work, or whatever the case may be. So this is going to tell you that you need 3 months, 6 months, or 12 month service, depending on what you feel. So if a client comes to me and they say, I have 4 collections, then we know that you're going to sign up for a 3 month plan. So I typically educate them to read the description, because you cannot sign up for a service where you have 100 inquiries, but you're signing up for a 3 month service. You might as well sign up for an inquiry plan and we go from there. So pretty much they sign up for the plan. Once they get the plan, they're going to get an email. Email is going to consist of 2 things: their onboarding. It's going to be homework, basically telling them where to upload their documents in the client portal. Once they complete their onboarding, I send out the disputes and we follow up every 30 to 35 days. So pretty much during this process, what happens after they complete all their enrollment, they're going to get their client portal. I'm going to gather their documents. So in the portal, it tells them verbatim what to do. They get to create their email, their password. It also comes with an app that they can download and track. And in there is going to tell them step by step how to add their license, their social, of utility bill, and it has an area where they can send a portal message to me letting me know their login information to the credit reporting agency, whether it is Smart Credit or Identity IQ. So pretty much once they do that, I can do a full analyzation of what's reporting on their credit report. This is how I determine if I see bankruptcy, late payments, charge-offs, liens, or anything like that. Once I know where I'm going to send my disputes, who I'm going after, pretty much I let my client know that, hey, your dispute round has been sent out. I'll follow up with you every 30 to 35 business days. Here is your direct link that you can actually book your follow-up call with me. And if in the meantime, if they do have questions, they do have access to write me inside of the portal where they'll get portal help if they need any help or assistance with questions or how, because most of them don't read their contract. So everything that they ask me in the portal is already in their contract, but they don't read. So I have to reiterate it to them a lot. This is my client success story, and it is on my website, and it is all across my social media platform. I am here by I get my clients pretty much by word of mouth and on social media. And I pretty much have to pull this information from my system and upload it for people to see that, hey, this is how it looks on my system. But my clients, I like for them to actually go in on their Credit Karma and give it to me. It doesn't always happen like that, but typically this is what shows in my system when it comes down to the deletions and what's in dispute. We have negative payments updated, and basically it's showing that 6 accounts was added to the profile, which is not good, because what did you do during this process? Why do we have more accounts on there? Where we are going. So pretty much Credit in Motion is building up. I started this company back in 2023. After going through a layoff of losing an $83,000 salary and then going through pretty much a divorce, I have to take my business up to the next level. So there's no just sitting here doing disputes and working client stuff every single day. Now it's time for me to start teaching and mentoring. Now it's time for me to start doing cohorts. Now it's time for me to start showing up at the events and actually speaking more to our community, because a lot of us lack and we don't have this information. We were not taught. So I'm actually moving my Facebook community from Facebook and moving it to a school. So that was a simple breakdown. This is basically, more detail of what's going to be coming. My first mentorship actually kicks off July 6th. So my first beta class is going to kick off July 6th. It'll be a 4-week course with question and answer on Thursday. So they'll be able to ask questions about everything that took place on that Monday. And then now I'm also going to start offering one-on-ones. But this is pretty much my flow chart of everything that I do. Okay, now I don't know what I'm doing.
You unmute
It
me.
says somebody talking. Oh, okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, and so I'm considering, purchasing a house. And so I'm trying to figure out, based on your presentation, we didn't go through price. And, I am a mom and a single mom, and I
Mhm.
just got a new job. So I'm really just trying to figure out, if I'm trying to buy a house next year, what price points do you have? And like, do you have payment plans? And what happens if I cannot pay? Like, what's the cancellation process? Can you tell me a little bit more about that? Because you did talk about the back end, but you didn't tell me, like, as a client, what that experience would
Mhm.
be like for me. So I'm just trying to figure that out.
So basically, pretty much on the front end of things, if I know that a client is trying to buy a house, the main thing that the realtors and mortgage loan officers look for is a 640 plus credit score. I personally do not go along with lenders that say, oh, we can get you approved at a 580 credit score, because everybody knows that that is about interest. My pricing is on my websites. They suspended the 4 payment plan on my Shopify. However, on my Stand store, it is 4 payment plan options. And if someone cannot get approved for the 4 payment plan option, I discuss with them in a one-on-one that we can do a in-house financing where basically they'll be set up on a subscription that will basically pay them off in that same 4 payment plan.
But how much is it though? Like, you didn't tell me how much it costs. Like, I'm trying to figure out how
So
much it costs.
so it depends on the plan. So there's 3 plans. There's a 3-month plan, which is $499. There's a
Mhm.
6-month plan that is $999, and then there's a 12-month plan, which is $1499.
Okay, and so based on me trying to get a house and stuff, like, where would you go? Like, what's the process? Do I just automatically just pay for it right now? Like, do I get to talk to somebody? Are you gonna pull my credit and see? Like, I'm just trying, because I've worked with other credit repair companies before, and so I'm just trying to figure out, what's going on. Because we got Chat GTP right now, and so my friend told me that she did her own credit, and so like I'm just trying to figure this out.
Girl, do they know consumer law? But anyway, okay, so basically we factual dispute, and a lot of times they do try to go with Chat GPT, but me, I actually go in consumer law. So basically, if you say you're coming and you're wanting to buy a house, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tell you, hey, send me your login to your Credit Karma or whatever the case may be during our consultation, because some people like to actually book a call actually first. So that is going to, if I have a client that has three or less collections, then you typically can sign up for a 3-month plan, especially if you just have three minor collections. Now, if you are a client who has went through bankruptcy, you have a repossession, you have an eviction, that is the more tedious task where you're going to need a 6 or a 12-month plan. But again, once I review each line item on your credit, that determines how negative it is, because with credit report agencies, they have to report accurate information. So once I pull up that account and it's a repossession, and they're reporting June 1 of 2024 on Equifax, and it's another date on Experian and another date on another bureau, basically that's a violation, because the three credit bureaus have to say the same thing across the board. And if they don't, that's automatic violation. And that is what I'm going to say in my letter to them. Like, hey, I noticed that this is reporting to my credit, but Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, you guys are not reporting the same way. And I'll pretty much insert a screenshot of that client's profile with my dispute. And that's how I'm able to get my first that's how I'm able to get the deletion off, because basically they're in violation. Can I buy the first level? Absolutely. So that's what I tell my clients, is that if you cannot afford to pay for a 6-month plan or a 12-month plan, get a feel for me, because I don't know you and you don't know me. So you can actually start off with the 3-month plan, and at the 3-month mark, right when I'm sending out your third round, I pretty much send an email and I'll say, hey, your third round has been sent out. After further review, we still have one collection left. Would you like to upgrade to a service? I can actually discount the service for you for continuing at this rate, and we'll go there for an extra 3 months or whatever I feel is going, because sometimes that one collection is just left on one credit bureau and not all three. So they do have the option to upgrade. And even when I send out their dispute, so basically when they sign up for a 3-month service and I do that whole review, I say, hey, your first disputes were sent out. However, based off of what I see, you would benefit more for a 6-month or 12-month plan, and I can offer you this pricing for these plans if you would like to take advantage of it now. If not, we'll reevaluate at the end of your contract and we'll go from there.
Okay, I like that. I feel like that might work because I am really trying to. Well, before we even got here, I had already talked to another girl already to just see what her credit process was and how it worked. And she's a lot cheaper than you. So I'm just trying to figure out, is this something I should buy?
No offense to your other person, but she's cheap and you're coming over here with me. So is we gonna get your credit in motion, or are we going to continue to say what the other person has done? Okay.
I don't know. I'm on a budget right now, so it sounds like it's something that she might need. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out because it is cheaper. And I see her testimonials and I don't really see none of yours. So I'm just trying to figure out how have you helped the clients because I haven't seen any of the testimonials. This was a good talk, but I ain't seen none of the testimonials of the wins that you said that you have, got
Well,
your
here is my
clients.
review page, and you can go down and look at my review page, which is also listed on my website. And you can take that up with you and God. If it fits on your heart that you want to do business with me, we'll do business. And if not, then we just won't do business. Thank you.
I have a question for you. Who is your
Yes.
target audience?
Single,
Who?
single mamas at this point. Single
The
moms.
single mom.
Single
So is
moms.
that the target market or the ideal client? Because the target market is who wants you, and the ideal client is who you want. So who are you marketing and positioning yourself towards?
The people that typically ideally want me is people that really want a new car, new house. Those are like the main two things. But the people that I want to, that my target audience is basically to show moms that even being single and going through a divorce, you can press reset and still be able to persevere, still be able to buy the house, buy the car, and take care of the kids. It may seem impossible, but this is just the start of a better future. So I like to pretty much let them know, like, hey, you swipe and debit. No, we need to go in this store and swipe credit, get our points, pay back by the statement date, so we can learn how to leverage and use other people's money. So that way we're not always just depending on just our paycheck to paycheck. I want to get them out of that paycheck to paycheck mindset, knowing how to rinse and repeat, use and pay back.
Okay.
I have a suggestion for you. With all we're hearing in the news, over 600,000, I think at this point, Black women have been laid off, forced into early retirement. Since you are looking to work with primarily single moms, now's a good time for you to really go deep on those women that you want to work with, because some of these ladies have been working for 25 years and all of a sudden they find themselves unemployed. Some of them may be experiencing 2 months behind on a payment, 3 months behind on a payment. And for the first time in their lives now, they do need somebody to help them with credit because they've never been in this situation before. So using your knowledge, you may want to really go deep on how you can help these women who have found themselves through no fault of their own in this situation. And the knowledge that you talked about consumer law. Now's a good time for you to go deep in that.
Okay. Thank you.
Agreed.
Tagisha, you got some?
I did have a couple questions because you said something and I'm like, oh, she about to make me pull out my calculator. It was when you were so my thing is I find you on social media. I don't want to call nobody. I just want to buy and follow your process, right? So I'm on your website and most people are going to go with the cheaper package, right? So I booked the cheaper package and then you said, okay, I sent your third round out. How did you come up? So is the third round equal to the 3 months equal to the 6 months, or is it a true discount? And then you said, well, maybe it's the 12 months. Is it a true discount or is it the equivalent of the 6 months or the 12 months?
It's a true discount. It's never
Why?
Right.
I guess because I would say that it kind of depends on I would say that it kind of depends on the client. Um, I know
Why?
this is a business and yes, we should charge the money, but as a
Yes.
single mom that just needed somebody to like help me, right? I feel like, okay, if they come up and they pay for the 3 month plan and I do that review within the first 3 days, and let's just say they already are here basically pitching pennies, then I'm like, okay, you signed up for 250. I can upgrade you to this the 6 month plan for extra, 200 or $200 or $250 to still give them like a discounted price, especially if the website is if it's actually discounted, because sometimes I may go in and run a sale where the website is pretty much like 50% off or something like that. But sometimes it really just depends on the client. I know,
Why?
I know, I know. I gotta get
This
stern on
is
my
what I
prices.
want to say. Yes, because this is what I don't want you to do. Because you are in fact using yourself as the person who is sending out the disputes, that's going to be time consuming. There's going to get up to a point where let's just say you have 10 to 15 women at one time, right? And you're discounting because they've booked or you're running a sale. And I'm cool with you having a sale, but what I'm not cool with is the next woman who comes in and she bought the 6 months, but I get a discount because I paid less. Do you get what I'm saying? So you have to make
Yes.
sure that, because if I was the person who was paying 6 months and my friend told me like, oh yeah, she got me a discount, I'm gonna be pissed. Because
Mhm.
not only do I need you to do a dispute, but I'm doing a dispute with you because I want some of my money back. So I
Mm-hmm.
would just caution you to not get in the habit of discounting. Let your price be your price because you are still, as a single mom, I think one of the main things that we have to realize is that we don't get rich off of discounts. We get rich off of profit. So I need to charge what my price is so that I have that money left to take care of my kids. Not
Mm-hmm.
the discount doesn't help me feed my son. It helps the
Right.
consumer, but the consumer is helped because you know consumer law. The
Right.
consumer is helped because you have that information, not the discount. That's my thing. Cause I'm like, wait a minute now. Bianca, no, like when I get my calculator, we
Simply
doing some real
because
numbers because it's not making sense. And then you said, okay, it's $4.99, but then I heard $2.50, and I'm like, okay, lock in your price.
Mhm.
Let your price be your price.
Okay.
There is no discount. Like the discount is, I don't know, Black Friday or Mother's Day. But
Mhm.
just
Right.
because I work with you does not give you the means to have a discount when there is a package for that. So it could be like, okay, well, you're a client, I'll give you a better letter. I don't know, but not when you're priced. Not when
Okay.
you're teaching women the how to be better stewards with their credit. Discounts aren't going to discount should not be the way that we're doing that.
Okay. It's
We need
just
to be looking at profit.
being taught on the work smart, profit smarter side. You guys as consultants teach different when it comes down to the pricing structure. So all of my credit repair mentors, basically, if I get up and I don't make a sale, run a sale. If I get up and I don't make money in 3 days or 5 days, run a sale, discount your pricing. Versus I'm really more on the Bianca side, where and it's the Keisha side, charge my money and that's it. If they sign up, they sign up. But then it's like, well, I went a
But
week
then
and
is it
didn't
a
make money.
sale or is your price too high though?
Honestly, I've gotten feedback from even locals here. My price is low.
Well,
My makeup artist is here, and she's like, people from Tampa that she's went to before have charged her $1,500. She said my prices are too low. People are probably thinking that I am scamming
Mm.
because it's too low.
Because
because it's
it's
too low.
too
I
low.
feel like $4.99 for 3 months of service. I feel like it's a good medium versus most people package plans for 3 months of service is like $600, $650.
So what you have to do is what I've done is you have to now. I'm glad you have a school because in programs I'll discount my price all day for the program. 50%, 12, whatever. I want to get my first. But from a service, if I have to show up and do my full job, I want my full fee. You know what I'm saying? And so you can separate those two like I do. As Katie King Consulting is the consulting business where we high as hell over here. The price is the price. And if you cannot afford that, that's great. I'm gonna run a program over here in this other work smart, profit smarter, and you gonna be able to take my intellectual property and figure it out on your own. But if you want me, the human with the IP and the receipts to do the job, I want my full fee. It's no discount. So you can do that. And I'm glad that you have the school and the separation. And then you're gonna have a community where you teach classes. You give discount all day on them classes.
Every 3 days if you want to.
If
Once a
you want
month.
to.
I wouldn't care. But when you do it, because like I said, if you get to a point where you're doing 10 people and it's you and your energy and your effort and your knowledge, you're gonna be not making what you thought you were make because you're gonna be like, think of it this way. If you say your hourly rate is $100, the more you discount it, you will find yourself now working and you'll be making $30 an hour for the same amount of work.
Yeah, I agree. I
And you're gonna
agree.
get burnt
So
out
that's
too.
that's just me and my
Yeah,
calculator.
because right now, after I've just archived files, I went from 80 clients to 62 because I archived they file for, in active credit monitoring. But it is a lot to keep up with their disputes. And then majority of the times when I don't run a sale, I do get on TikTok live at the spare of the moment and run the sale. But it's like that is what also helps me generate and make my four-figure months because I can spend
Okay.
an hour and make $1,000.
Okay, so how about this? How about you raise your price to $6.99 and you run your sale and your sale price is always $4.99. So you're still getting what you want, and you don't care about the $200 because
That's
what
what
you
the
really
core
want
price
is the
is.
$499.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
And then it also gives the impression to those who say that, oh, it's too low, it's a scam. Now you're back at where the market price is.
Mm-hmm.
Can
And
we
that
agree
I'm
on
trying
that?
to decide too if I'm going to, because a lot of people, they either just have two plans, three plans, an illegal plan that I don't want to offer, that because it's basically claiming, identity theft and human trafficking, but they are charging $1,000 for it and helping getting their clients results within the first 60 days. I don't necessarily want to offer it, but then they have regular plans. It's either a 4-month plan or a 9-month plan, and it's no 3, 6, or 12. So maybe I need to just have my two set plans to actually, because honestly, 3 months, a lot of stuff does happen. A lot of my clients do graduate after 3 months, but those clients that don't, they graduate more so at the 5th month or the 6th month. And then more for healthy clients, sometimes it takes up to those 9 months, especially if I get them and they got 3 and 4 repossessions.
what is your follow-up for those? Do you offer like some type of ongoing credit maintenance, credit monitoring after they've completed your program?
Not necessarily. So basically, during the process, I'm teaching them how to add positives, which is trade lines, credit builders. But pretty much when they're done with the program, they should pretty much know how to continue to maintain paying their credit cards back by the statement date, their loans by the due date, so they won't get late payments. But it's nothing really ongoing after service is done, because pretty much they go buy the house and they don't pretty much need me no more. They go buy the car and they feel like they don't need me no more until something else negative hits their credit. And then like, okay, I know you did it for me before. I'm back again.
Okay, so if I want you to go back through your past clients and see how many of those scenarios you had. And I
Okay.
want you to identify a pattern. And once you can identify that pattern, then that's
Okay.
another plan that you can offer, because the goal for you would be, I keep your credit in motion. Once I fix your credit, it's never bad again. And that's going to be through your education. So maybe after they complete your program, they move into your school, and that could be 25 a month, but you're educating them so that they don't find themselves in need of you again in that
Yes, ma'am.
way.
Mhm. That's pretty
And
much
I
how
want you to
my
start thinking
Facebook community is set.
transactional. Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, not transactional, think relational, not transactional. So
Okay.
you get their credit straight, and then what else can I do for them so that
Okay.
we have a relationship? Because once you have a relationship, they will refer you, but then that's also monthly recurring revenue you can make from them.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I like that.
Okay. You got any questions for us?
Nope.
How you feel? How
What is going on?
you feel? You feeling all right? You feeling good?
I actually feel good because no one has ever like taken the time out to actually allow me to walk through my business and make sure that it's structured. And I found myself over the past year and a half hiring and signing up for coaches that would basically show me from start to finish building. And you actually did that. I'm not gonna cry. My lashes is about like 3 days old, but I really appreciate the I mean, it was a task to show up consistently on the Tuesdays, on the Thursdays, and then we get in there talking about whatever we talk about, and we hanging out, it's surviving. I'm saying, y'all probably don't see me right now telling my son, like, my baby boy, he my rainbow baby, and he like, mommy, and I'm like, back up, this is a real deal right here. It's not about the money for me. It's really about actually going through my process and getting the feedback, because that's what I've been pretty much hiring people for. And when I talk, it's kind of like, not necessarily they run away, but they be like, if I teach her this, she gonna take off. And they leave me for dry. Then I gotta go back and learn and do everything on my own. And I get that a lot. So for me to be in a room with women that actually want to see you do good, want to see you build 4 and 5 figures, and y'all, I'm still making my 4 figures. So it's cool. I'm still making my 4 figures, so I'm cool. I don't care as long as by the fifth I see a comma. I'm okay. Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it moving, because I'm really actually about to get ready to leave off from the 9 to 5, and I'm gonna let y'all go. I experienced a week ago when I was in a training. My boss was going through his presentation and he forgot that he was sharing his screen. And while I was talking, he typed to another coworker of mine who I've already had some words with her, because I'm a woman of color and you're not going to do me any kind of way. I'm going to speak up for myself, and they don't like it. Anyway, he started typing to her, "Can she just shut up?" Everybody on the team seen it, and as he was typing, I read it back. "Can she just shut up?" Okay. It was like, "Oh, you're sharing your screen. We can see what you're saying." By the time they said that, I left the meet and took PTO off, went to HR, talked to HR, and I'm gonna let y'all handle that. I don't have nothing else to say. So right now, I know that he doesn't respect me. So if they don't move me, I'm just really trying to build up a good 5 figures consistently, and I'm out.
I
I'm out.
like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it be those little pushes that push you out, though. You know what I'm saying? It'd be a lot of those that's, that
Yeah,
just
it hurt
push
my
you
feelings
out.
because I've been on the job. August will be 9 years. I've been reporting to this same man, and it's like, God, that's how you feel. But I could tell that he had been talking, and yeah, it's time. It's time.
Okay.
Thank
Okay.
y'all.
Well, before you go,
Mhm.
I wanted to just say that I met with Takesha and Karen after each class, and you showed up to every class. You have not missed. You missed the class, I think when your auntie was sick or your auntie passed away or something like that, and that was
Mhm.
the only class that you have missed. You have been consistently just showing up and putting in the work, and I've seen so much growth that has happened for you over these past 6 months. And I know about the trials and tribulations that you've been through, but you've been consistently showing up. And so I know that when I started the program, we had 2 awards, and one of the awards was those that show up consistently, those that actually do the work, those that implement, and you've been that. So I'm going to reward you your money back just for that portion. You won that portion of just showing up. Don't make me cry. Of just showing up and doing the work and being on time, and every class you have not missed the class. Even when your auntie was in the hospital, you was, logging in and trying to do the work. And so I know what it's like to be going through one of the worst seasons of your life, but you really need this season to get you to your next level of growth. And so you automatically get your money back because you won that category. So it was two: those that show up in class, those that participate, those that do the work, and the last one was pitching. So you won those two. So congratulations, you already won your investment back just from that. We wanted to just see you pitch though. I wanted to see the pitch. But you had already won that category already, but I wanted to just see the pitch to see if you was gonna come do your little one too. But
Me over here sweating.
I know. I wanted to see it.
You did a great job.
Yeah, you
Thank
did
you.
good. You did good.
Thank
So
you. Thank
we
you.
appreciate you.
The
Okay.
comments is lit.
They going on.
Yeah. Okay. So
Well, thank you. I appreciate y'all so much.
you welcome.
Whew.
Okay.
It's okay.
Bye.
I'll be giving you that money right back. I seen some stuff I wanted to sign up for. So yeah. Boy, she know how to get us, right? She know how to get us. They don't even matter. She finna get it back anyway.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
So
Whew.
next we have Erica. Let's go. You nigga co-host.
Okay. Can y'all hear me?
Mm-hmm. Where
Okay.
you at? Really?
All right. Let me share my screen. Can y'all see my screen?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, cool. All right. My name is Erica L. Kelly, and I am the founder of House of Systems. I help build the back end that turns attention into revenue. Thank y'all so much for listening to my pitch today. So Today, I'm actually going to talk about a group of people who are incredibly talented, but they're often a victim of their own success, and that's creators. They're amazing at creating content, but building a successful business it requires a completely different type of skill that a lot of creators are not equipped to do. So they create the content, they educate their audience, but as their business continues to grow, they become strategists, CEOs, operations managers, project managers, and instead of spending their time working on what they're good at, which is creating, they have to push that aside to build their business. So I help infopreneurs monetize their business outside of brand deals and content funds. House of Systems, we serve as a growth operating partner for infopreneurs. So rather than just providing them advice or executing for one problem and leaving, I actually invest in the long-term growth of the business. I work alongside the creator to identify growth opportunities, design scalable business strategies, and build the systems that actually bring those ideas and strategies to life. Why Erica? So I built this business because I recognize that creators struggle with execution, alignment, and operational infrastructure. My background spans across biomedical engineering, project management, business operations, and I've been able to combine those disciplines to actually operate as a growth operator for creators. I don't just develop the strategies, but I actually build the systems and coordinate the execution that turns the strategies into results. I support educational creators and experts with 20K plus followers who have valuable knowledge, but they need operational infrastructure to scale. These are creators and experts that already have the established audiences and valuable expertise, and they're ready to actually build a business that they can scale around what they already know. They don't need help creating content. They need help with the strategy, monetization opportunities, and the infrastructure to bring long-term revenue to their expertise. So our main focus is to ensure that creators can do what they do best, which is create. So we go into their business as a partner. We help with business strategy, offer development, diversifying their revenue. We manage their sales teams, KPI performance tracking, and building operational systems. So I partner with creators by providing them the strategy, systems, operations, execution, and growth opportunities. The creators, they provide the expertise, audience, brand, vision, and content. And so that's how we come together for the growth operator partnership. I don't believe in forcing every client into the same package. So my goal is to actually create a partnership structure that aligns incentives with growth. So that will typically be starting at where we are now and what they actually need. Our customized engagement structures, we either work with creators on a monthly retainer and revenue share, upfront investment in revenue share, or we do a hybrid, just depending on exactly where the creator is and what their needs are. Now, we do have two paths to partnership. This is how I actually acquire my clients. The first is through content. So when they see our content online, we direct them to a creator growth audit where they can complete a self-audit online. At the end, after they receive their instant results, they do have an opportunity to book a 20-minute strategy call. I also do strategic outbound as well. So as I consume content, I'm always looking for different angles that I can help content creators. So when I identify high potential creators, so those are creators who may be only working on a one-on-one basis, they have fragmented offers, there's no clear customer journey, or they have a highly engaged and emotion-based audience, but no community. Those are creators that I will create a custom growth analysis. I record a 5-minute Loom walkthrough, and I will send that to them to invite them to a strategy call. Although many prospects will enter through social media, or I also reach out to them, I also have a website. This is a website, so I help the back end. I build the back end that turns attention into revenue. All right. And this tells a little bit about who we are, what we build, and how we can actually help them. We also have a link to the audit, what's keeping your business from growing. So this is a 3-minute audit. It's about 20 questions that they can go through and answer on a scale of 1 to 5. Once they are finished, they will come to a result, which here's one of the results that they can receive afterwards, where I tell them what their biggest bottleneck is. And I also give them what to focus on. If they want to go deeper, they can book a personalized growth audit call. And once they go to my link, they can sign up for a 20-minute call. On there, I do have a question where I'm asking their main social media profiles so that I can go ahead and audit their business prior to the call to help with conversion. On the other side, the strategic outbound. So this is an example of one of the videos that I actually sent my newest client that just recently signed on. It was about 8 minutes, 4 minutes on 2 times the speed. And I pretty much did a customized offer based on what I saw from her social media. Okay. So aside from how we acquire clients, I do want to show you all a little bit of how we actually operate. So I use Dashboard as our internal operating system. So I use Notion. So this is my dashboard. Every morning I can come in. This is where I add quick notes, my daily command center, my priorities, quick links. And then I also have like days that I've already batched. My KPIs are over here on the side. I've also built a centralized intelligence hub that houses my methodologies, frameworks, templates, research, everything. So I'm not reinventing the wheel each time I get a new client. These are things that are already set in stone and I use for each client. Yes. Okay. So when it comes to the client experience, we don't just manage products. We also build an operating system for our clients as well. Every engagement begins with a structured onboarding experience, not just a generic welcome call. So when they actually sign the contract, they'll receive an email. It'll have a link for a onboarding form, as well as a link to schedule their 2-hour call. This is the onboarding form. I pretty much ask all the questions to find out where they are, where they want to be, the systems and tools that they're using, and what issues or bottlenecks that they have in their business. Once we meet for our onboarding call, I structure this like a workshop rather than just a call. So we come together, we map out their positioning, offers, bottlenecks, as well as like the first 30-day plan. And this is always custom depending on the client, but we actually work through all of this together. And this is actually what me and my most recent client works on together. As far as an operating system, my clients also use Notion. So this is where all of the things happen. This is our operating system as well. So when they first log into Notion, they always see their North Star so that the end goal is always at the top of mind. We have our KPIs, priorities, a really quick overview on the tasks that we have, our recent meetings, which I include a link as well as notes for the meetings and quick links there. Slack serves as our communication and automation layer. So this keeps everyone informed in real time. We have a team chat, opt-ins, any coaching applications that we receive will receive a notification here. calls booked, successful payments, failed payments, and anything custom that the client may need. And finally, we track performance through reporting dashboards, so decisions are driven by data. And so this is generally for a client that has a high ticket offer. We'll be able to view how many calls we had booked, how many sales we had, cash collected, and such. The future of House of Systems. So today we're operating as a growth partner for creators one-on-one. As the business continues to evolve, these same frameworks will be used to help others with templates and toolkits, workshops, courses, speaking engagements. So we'll be soon equipped helping thousands of creators with their frameworks that makes their business scalable. Thank you. That's it.
Good job. So, but I feel like the presentation of this is amazing, but I'm still stuck on the one pain point, one solution. Like, how would I know that you are my person and that can help me? Like, what is the the main problem that you solve? Because it's a lot of them that I've seen, but like, how would I know? Because now it's like I have all this information and this information overload, and so I'm trying to narrow in on in a room full of noise. Like, how would I know that you are my person? Do I have to wait for you to reach out to me to find me? Or like, what content would you put out that would attract the client? Like, in simplest form, in one sentence, like, what is that? And so for us, KDK Consulting is a business strategy consulting firm, and we're in the business of aligning strategic opportunities for our clients that will produce profitable results by building a business model that supports a hybrid lifestyle business model so they can work less and make more. So I'm very clear on who, what, and what is the thing that I'm doing. I'm building business models. So that's where we start. Where would I start? Like, where do I start?
Okay, so you would start by consuming some of my content. My content actually reaches content creators who currently have an audience but unable to successfully monetize and build consistent revenue.
So, okay, so let's go back. So, I have 50,000 followers. So, that's me. So, am I a person that is able to build a social media following? Like, I have the community built of people, but I don't have anything to monetize that particular following. So, I'm just popular, but I'm not paid. So, you're in the business of turning those creators who are popular into paid?
Yes. So I help with ecosystem development,
But
revenue
that's
diversity.
wait, go back. That's your terms. Speak
Oh,
to me as a creator. You have to
yeah.
speak to
So
them in a lingo that they understand. I don't understand. I know because I do this, but act like I don't.
okay. Yes, I help you build digital products and make money from what you're teaching online. You teach every day for free. So I'm going to come in and help you build a infrastructure where you can actually get paid outside of just Instagram's content fund.
But I built like 4 digital products already, and like none of them worked. Like I have that already.
Yes, so I did actually see the products that you have up, and just quickly looking, I can tell that your offers are fragmented. A lot of the people that are probably going to your page don't know where to start. They don't know where what you are offering. Your positioning is unclear, and so I come in to assist you with positioning, ensure that you have a clear customer journey where people can join your funnel and convert from there.
And you gonna build the funnel?
Yes.
Okay, but I have these followers, and so I've been hearing that people are good at building community, but they're not good at monetizing a community. So I might just have people that just like my hair and like my nails, not really necessarily the intellectual property that I have. What is my intellectual property? Because I didn't have this page since college, and it was a hair page, then it was a nail page, then it was a bathing suit page. Like it's a lot of stuff going on, and so like, what brand do you see underneath all of this?
So I actually work primarily with infopreneurs, so people who are already educating their audience. Um, if you are giving hair and nail tutorials, that we probably wouldn't be a good fit. However, if you are teaching people how to strengthen their hair or nails, if you're teaching people about different vitamins and things that they can do, then we could probably find something. However, you probably are not my ideal client, just being honest. All right.
It's okay. So if I'm not the ideal client, because the ideal client is who you want, because you said that you work with creators that have a following that is already selling, and so you help them to be able to monetize that more. So I might not be the ideal client, but am I the target market? Because remember, the target market is who wants you. The ideal client is who you want. So as the target market, since that is what you're going to attract, and most of us make most of our money from the target market. It's like a hotel. They have 5 penthouses, but they're not booked every single day. But those other rooms are booked because of it's the Four Seasons in those penthouses, and so those other rooms will be able to be booked all day, which is the target market, and those penthouses are the ideal client. As the target market, what would you be able to assess me with to be able to create for me?
Well, I don't think that I would attract you because my content primarily speaks to people who are actually educating their audience. So although you do have the following, I don't really speak to comedians or influencers. I'm speaking to people who are actually educating and um, giving knowledge to their following.
So you don't have a target market. You don't service the target market. You only service the ideal client. You only serve the people in the penthouses, not the people that want the $800 rooms. You're only servicing the people that want the $30,000 a night penthouses.
Well, no, I can serve the people on the lower levels, and those are going to be people who may not have the following that my ideal client has. But you still have to be educating your audience because I have to be able to package you into something that can sell, and I can't package um, nail tutorials
But
into
I
something.
want to though. But I want to. I want to though. I want to. I want to. I like your content, and I've seen what it is that you do. And my friend, who is an infopreneur, she actually is a therapist, and you were able to help her package her intellectual property because she was selling a course in a class, and you were able to help her. So it's something that I aspire to do and that I want to do. Do I need to go to somebody else before I come to you, or can you help me now? What tools do you have to help me now? I want to.
Well, I have a couple of digital products that I can direct you to that can teach you how
Exactly.
to
Upsell me on
monetize.
the digital products. That's what I'm trying to get you to go. That is the money that is for the target market. Give me that. Because right now, a service is not going to fit me. And we ain't trying to make it make sense or make it work either. But those digital products are transferable to anybody's skill. They're going to buy it and do whatever they need to do for it. So sell me on the digital. Go back.
Yeah, so I do have a course on my website on how to package your expertise into intellectual property. Um, and so I'll send you a link to it now. Let me go ahead and send
Okay.
you the invoice. Here you go.
Thank you. Yes, I really want that because I really like what you did with her. And I know I'm not there yet, but what you've done for her is just so great. And I really want that. So I know I'm not the ideal client right now, but I love the way you do things. And I've seen your work in the wild and like how it has really changed the trajectory of my friend's life. And she raved about you. And so I feel like if I would buy the digital product, can I book a session after I buy a digital product? Like, can you look at it? Do you have like a la carte sessions that I can like purchase, or is it just the digital product?
Yes, I do have strategy sessions. They go for $3.99, $3.97 an hour. I'll go ahead and send you an invoice for that as well.
So, do you think I should start at the digital product, or you want me to start at the session first? Where would you think I would start? Because I mean, I just want to work with you, so I'm just trying to figure out where I get in.
Sure. Well, based on my assessment, I believe that you and I could meet for about an hour and I can create you a customized plan. And then we can go
Really?
from there.
Okay. And what is in that plan?
Within that plan, I provide you with a strategy on how to monetize your content outside of content funds.
Okay, I like that. Would you be willing to do like coaching, like is it ongoing coaching, or you just do advising services? Like, can I book more than those? Because like I'm a one-on-one type of girl. I know you said you had the digital product, but can like I book more than one session and we build upon that, or is it just like a one-off?
I usually don't do this, but I really like your drive. So I can go ahead and create a package for you. And we can do 6 weeks and we meet weekly until we get to your transformation.
Thank you. Who next? Takesha and Karen. I'm just trying.
I got my calculator.
I talk all day to the person that I want, but out of 10 people, 8 of them is not the ideal client. And so you also have to think you're capped at the ideal client. You can't take all of the clients and all of the money. So you have to be able to sell the other stuff that you have to prepare them to get ready on it. So based on when I first started, you should have just sold me on the digital product and then the session it would have been done. You let me take 30 minutes of your time running you through a circle for a $47, you know what I'm saying, like digital product. However, you was able to sell me on 6 sessions though. So if I didn't keep drilling and keep talking, you only would have made no money because you was about to turn me away. When you are talking, you need to get something, an email, a digital product, something, because your time is of value. So sell them on that digital product, and then in the email, boom, sell me on that 397 session. But I also think that 390 session, I'm gonna run you through the ringer for that 390 session because it's not just gonna be a $397 session because I'm new. I have a lot of questions. However, since I came from somebody else, you can use me as a case study to be able to build that and pour into me because I already like you, know you, and trust you from somebody else. So I'm the mouthpiece that's going to bring you other people. So you have to think about the people that you encounter that can be the investment to bring you in on the other people. But you did really good under the pressure and thinking really quickly on your feet. But now you need to, you know what I'm saying, just close me. But I think you did good.
Question
I
for
have
you.
a couple questions. So is it really that you talk to creators? Because when I think of creators, my mind automatically goes to like influencers, like like online creators, but you really are targeting educational infopreneurs. So maybe that slight tweak would also help. Because when I thought about it, I'm like, oh, well, she deals with like my old clients. But then as you were talking, I'm like, oh, well, no,
No,
no, she
for
doesn't because they're mostly influencers. But I have a couple questions. You said,
I Before you jump into that, I do want to say, and this is probably something that Bianca's question was kind of framing. There are some influencers who may have things that we can monetize. I have seen it before. For instance, I saw someone who was strictly an influencer and she was talking about how she had just gotten her first brand deal and she didn't have anything to sell. And I jumped on her inbox like, yes, you do have something to sell. You can sell people and tell people how to get their brand deals. So there are certain influencers that I will work with, but they have to have something that we can teach and productize.
right, but that also will require them to change like how they are. But my question is, like the money.
Mhm.
How much is this?
Mm-hmm.
Because you said like I got money. Where where is it? Like you said that you don't have set pricing. So do you have like a pricing schedule, a structure, and everything is like a la carte? Like how do we pay you?
Yeah, so it's actually a growth partnership. I work with people in a few different ways. One of which is like a monthly retainer and revenue share.
Of
So
how much though?
right. Where
Like
do you
how much
start?
is the
so
retainer? How much is
it depends on what you actually need, but I can say with my most recent client, she is educating her audience, but she does not have any products or anything of that nature. And so we started off at a 40% rev share. So as we're building every dollar that we make from her digital products and the digital infrastructure that I build, I'm going to get 40% of that.
But what's the base? Like, you got to pay me 2,000 first, and then once we build this, then I get 40%, or it's no money up front that you get. It's strictly from the revenue share.
So it would be a monthly retainer. The minimum monthly retainer is 1,500.
Okay.
Thank you. Just like,
So I need
what's the number?
$1,500 to come over here, and now I'm making $5,000 a month. So now you get a rev share for there. If I only make $2,000 a month, you get a rev share for there. Is it a base that I have to do, or I have to now pay another $1,500?
No, you don't have a base. So the $1,500 protects me and the risk that I'm putting out in order to become your partner and do the work. So as long as you pay me that 15, I'm sorry.
Right, hold on.
How long are your partnerships?
So they start at a year, and then after the first year, we have the opportunity to renegotiate.
Okay.
But okay, who else got a question? Because I got a question. What's another question? Because
I had one, but
So
I
your
should.
audit call, if you went on my page and you like, okay, she'd be a good fit, do I have to pay for the audit call or is it free?
because you reached out to me.
It's free.
Why?
Did she reach out?
Yeah, because I'm basically reaching
But
out to you. You're a cold person, so
I
I'm
thought you said in the audit call, even if I reached out to you, you're taking the time to go through all of my pages and come up with the actual plan? Or is that, or did I write that wrong?
no, it's not an actual plan. It's basically just a discovery call.
Okay, gotcha. So it's okay, it's just a discovery call. Okay, gotcha.
So I have a question slash suggestion.
Okay.
Since you're doing some systems, is it possible for you to, instead of you reaching out and you doing the audit, you have that feature on your site, and then they start the audit, you get the results, then you follow up with the call to them, because that would give you an opportunity after the audit, since that could be your lead magnet, you can upsell them into a strategy session or into one of your packages, one of your plans. So reversing how you're doing it. Instead of you reaching out because you did an audit, have it available on your website, let them initiate it. It could be a Google form that you send the contents of that Google form to Claude or Chat or Kimmy or what have you. And based on the questions that you ask and the answers from them, you let them massage the data, create that audit, and then you call them with a follow-up on those results.
Okay, I like that.
And then an
So,
upsell them into a strategy call.
so essentially, they will come in from the inbound from what they enter into the quiz,
Mm-hmm.
and their result here, I would,
Then so you can, whatever the
instead
answer
of booking this,
huh?
instead of booking the growth audit call, which is just a discovery session, I would funnel their information into an AI system and then book the call from there and upsell them
Yeah,
for.
if they want the results. So they're going to answer all of those questions. Go back a page.
This.
So they're going to answer all of these questions, but they can't get the results until they book a call, until they book the call with you. So you're going to have the answers to all of these questions, pass that along to your AI tool of choice. Let your AI tool do the audit for you, create the report, but they can't get the results until they book a call with you, and that's where you give them results, and that's where you also have an opportunity to upsell them into a strategy call. That'll let you get more strategy sessions and the opportunity to upsell while you have them.
I disagree with you, Karen. If that was me and I got a quiz and then I had to book a call to get the results, I'm probably not going to book the call. But if I got the results and it said I have a bottleneck and I don't necessarily know what a bottleneck is, I
Mhm.
probably would book the at least the discovery call because I'm like, okay, well, you said monetization. So now I'm like, okay, yeah, I want to go deeper. I would book this call, but I don't necessarily know if I would book it just to get the results.
Okay, that makes sense.
But I would book it because you like monetization. I'm like, oh, that's money. Let me book the call. So I like this part of the quiz because it kind of takes you out of it.
Hmm.
Um,
But can we put a funnel on the back of this? Like, what if I don't book the call within
Hmm.
24 hours of it? Can we now book a funnel and say, hey, Bianca, you know, monetization was your results, and this is what it is. This is why, Brittany, who's my client, got this and she got that. So now book
like an
a
email
call
funnel.
on
So
the
Hmm.
back.
yeah, we do have a follow-up funnel, but it's still to like book a call. So I need to
No,
figure
no,
out
I
how to,
want to book a call. I want to
oh,
talk to somebody. I
okay.
want to talk. Absolutely. If I can get you on the phone, I'm closing. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm going to close. It's to get you though on the phone, but the goal is you have to make them want you instead of you wanting them. And so as you flow into that funnel, and you keep hitting my pain point of, you leaving money on the table based on the quiz. Your bottleneck problem is what's costing you, the life you deserve. Like, if you now put a funnel, an email funnel, a sequence, a nurture sequence on the back of each one of them, you're going to have a higher conversion rate to book the call. Because if I don't book, then I'm not working with you. So I think that you should drill deeper into it based on the results. Like, how many different results can I get? 4 different bottleneck opportunities?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's 4 different funnels. So I would make 4 funnels, and I would hit hard for 7 days, just back to back, back to back, back to back. Then after that, you can lay up, and then it could be once a week or once every 2 weeks. But you have to drill down now into them, because if I took the time to do the quiz, I'm worn. But now you need to now warm me up more by talking to me on the phone. So I think that you should drill down more into it to get the people to book the call. This shouldn't be the only one, or the hey, one email. Like, I think that if you drill in it more, you'll be able to get more results. Where my next question, where can I how do I know you got this? Like, what's the marketing plan for you? Like, what's the marketing strategy?
How do you know that I have this audit
How I
or
even know? Yeah, where I see you at? How I know you? Where you
on
come from?
Instagram?
Okay, so I saw you on Instagram. And what type of content do you put out on Instagram? Is it relationship based? Is it info based? Like, is it like what type of content you put out?
It's info based.
And you talking directly to me? Like, are you hitting the pain points to talk directly to, like, simplify your offer? Is that one of the things? Building a clear offer ladder, creating multiple
Yeah,
plans to purchase, and them the pain points that you hitting with. So to convert me over, like, is that the lead in?
yeah. Like this is why you're not making money on social media. Why does your link in bio look like an Applebee's menu? Like things like that that really either diagnose you or hit the pain point.
Okay. And what's your plan though for your next 30 days? Like, what's the plan to dive into it?
Like for me as a business, or you asking as a client?
No, I'm asking for you as a business.
Okay. So my priorities for the next 30 days are to actually like hone in on content strategy. I also need to segment out my follow-up system
Mm-hmm.
and build a digital product so that I can upsell to the people that are not my client, my target market.
Because you'll get a lot of those first, but you can always convert them into it. So I would rather you spend. You already have the service already, so I would at least create one product for them to throw them over there and then funnel them into the personal growth session. I don't want the lead magnet to be a book a call. Like, I feel like that wouldn't be it. I like the quiz though, but then from the quiz we need something else because now you just diagnose me. Like, I don't want to be diagnosed right now. I probably don't want to go that far yet, but I want to know 5 bottlenecks most creators have in their business is costing them, 6 figures in growth or something like that. And it could be these, like whatever, but you need something to gather to put on the list. How many people do you have on your email list?
3.
Okay, so is it 3 because you just started it, or 3 because you don't push it, or 3 because you don't want an email list? Why is it 3?
3 because I just started.
Right. Okay, well that's more than 3 because I've been doing it for 12 years and I just don't want one. Okay, so I like the 3. Okay, that's my question. Anybody else got more questions?
No.
Okay, good job.
Thank you.
How,
Thank you so
how
much
you
for the
feel?
feedback.
You
Thank
feel
you.
okay? You feeling all right?
Yeah, I'm okay. I needed it though. I needed it. So I appreciate your feedback, all the
Okay.
questions, and thanks for the support, team.
I do have one question. This is one thing that I would kind of go back because when I looked at it again on your offers on the pricing,
Uh-huh.
I'm still not 100% clear on that. I know you said the minimum was 1,500, but your first and your middle offer, to me, they read the same. They had different wording, but I thought it was the same thing. That's why I was like, well, how much is it? Because they both have revenue shares and like a base price. I would just be a little bit more clear on that because if I saw that on your website, I would be like, well, isn't that the same thing? I'm
Mhm.
confused on what makes them different.
Okay. And to answer your question, so the upfront investment plus rev share, that's generally people who have a large following who are generating a lot of income. For instance, I had a discovery call with someone who was making like 250K a month. And so I'm sorry, that's for the inverse. That's for the monthly retainer. Yeah, for the monthly retainer. But for the upfront investment, that's for someone who needs like heavy implementation work upfront so that I can go ahead and generate income from the work that I'm doing in the beginning.
How is that different from the monthly retainer? Are they not the same?
No, so an upfront investment is like paying me 10K upfront. Like, okay, 10K to start the work, 10K to build out your funnel, your website, create the actual product in the LMS and all that stuff. But
Got
then
you.
okay.
I got you now. Okay.
That makes sense. Okay. Good job. Okay.
Good
So
job. Thank you.
Thank you.
that's a lot. Okay. We rolling. Let's go, Dominique.
Okay. Yeah. Well, great.
Baby, make a code.
All right, y'all. Hold
This
on.
chat, I can't with y'all.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to excuse my dogs first. But first and foremost, I did put the one pager in there so y'all can follow along. I know that all of us are, we read at different paces, but I'm still going to share my screen and I'm going to share the one pager with everybody. All right. All right, cool, cool. All right. So I do want to start out with saying that at first I'm going to go through the one pager that I provided everybody. And after I do the one pager, then I'm going to switch screens and then I'm going to show you the actual client experience. So it's half boredom, half excitement. So just to let you know up front. But also with that being said, so I started Courage Catalyst Consulting last year after I had left corporate. But the only thing is that I only registered the name. I did not have anything when I entered into Four Figures First. Literally, it was just a registered business name, and everything that you're going to see today literally has been built from January all the way up to today. So to start out, Courage Catalyst Consulting. We are a consulting company where I help founders as well as small teams who are tired of chasing updates, answering the same questions, and really just holding everything in their head. And so, essentially, what the pain points are for companies like this is that they usually don't have clear ownership within their business. That means they may not know exactly who owns a task, right? Everybody is doing busy work, but nobody actually owns it. Nobody knows what's coming up next, and you don't know when something is truly complete. So that's where the chasing updates come from. Another pain point that companies typically have is they have scattered workflows. That means that a lot of different things happen in their business and it's stored in different places. So it could be some documents in Google Drive, it could be communication in Slack, and then they may have maybe one or two tasks that's located in a project management platform like Asana or Monday.com, right? Really, they don't have a centralized location where all of their work lives. And then the other pain point that these business owners or these founders typically have is that there are bottlenecks. Now, I know that we talked about some people don't know what bottlenecks are. And essentially, what it is when everything has to move through you as a founder. That means that everything, the pipeline is clogged up. All the action items are waiting to be approved by you, or maybe there are some follow-ups that need to be done and it all lands on one person's plate. Now, this could be a bottleneck for the founder, or it could be a bottleneck for like the second person in line, like a chief of staff. So, what Courage Catalyst Consulting do is we create workflow designs, revamp communication systems, and really help with the operation improvements. So, all these companies, they have pain points in their operations. That's literally what we focus on. And we also make sure that businesses, they have clear ownership, they have consistent execution in their business, and they have better visibility so they're able to see where all the work lives. So a little bit about myself. I am the founder, and I also like to call myself the process mechanic because I am the one repairing the processes and making sure that things run smoother on a day-to-day basis for these companies. And what makes us really different when it comes to, I like to call it C3, just, so it's not a mouthful, but I have over 15 years of corporate experience in operations, strategy, product, and project management. When I'm working with the client, they get strategy plus execution. They don't just get strategy alone, unless that is part of the offer, which we'll talk about a little bit later. I have customized solutions for the client, so it's not generic. It's literally tailored to their business and what is going to help drive their business forward. Excuse me. One thing that's really different about my consulting company is that I have an evening consulting model, and that's because it's built for busy founders or busy business owners. Apologies. A lot of times, business owners, they are working in their business, let's say 9 to 5, and then they're working on their business at night, right? So that is where I do offer evening appointments. It could be ranging from 6 to 9 p.m. at least 3 days out of the week, because that is when they actually have time to book a consultation or book a call or a working strategy session. And so it has really been proven to be helpful, offering outside of business hours. Another good thing about working with us is that there's a clear path. You're going to know exactly step by step. There's no ambiguity as to what the next steps are. You get all of that information all the way from the time we start working together when you get the assessment all the way up into implementation and next steps. Now, a little bit of traction. And this is just a high overview. Since January of this year, I have launched my monthly LinkedIn training series where it happens the third Wednesday of every month. I did host my very first one in May. That is where my target and ideal audience lives, is on LinkedIn. So I'm really leaning into that platform, and I believe it's a hidden gem, if you will. So that's why I'm tapping into LinkedIn. I also got my first consulting revenue generated. Bianca helped me out with that, with pricing and all that good stuff. I've had a strategic partnership with a community group. It's called Empowering Moms. And we actually have a pilot called Founding Moms Ops Reset. Talk a little bit about that. And I've also just been able to deliver on projects. And yeah, so a lot of traction, a lot of momentum happening. I do have a digital product, which you'll also take a look at. And I have a repeatable process, if you will. And I've also earned some client recommendations, which I'll kind of give you all a sneak peek on that too. So, how do clients work with Courage Catalyst Consulting? So, this is literally like my value letter or my offers. So, I talked a little bit about the monthly training series. It is completely free. This is where founders and business owners, they get a live training and they get practical ways of how they can improve their operations. And it usually starts with, how you can improve your communication with your team. How can your team members become more accountable? And then also, how can you have more clarity in your operations in general? That's completely free. Next, I have the operations audit, which is also free. It is a free self-assessment where founders, they will be able to identify their blind spots in their operations. They'll be able to see exactly what's holding them up, like what is clogging that pipeline. And then they also get personalized results after they finish the assessment. The next tier is the Chaos to Calm playbook. It is a digital guide where it's very interactive, where founders will be able to understand exactly how to start from step one of understanding, okay, who owns what process do I need to focus on first? And then after that, it actually helps founders, it helps them build out SOPs or standard operating procedures. It helps them create their first SOP. It helps them actually iron out the kinks of their workflow. And it just helps reduce, like the operational confusion. This is for people who are DIYers, right? Because some people may not be like, hey, I can't afford, your consulting right now. However, I can't afford $24.99 and just do something on my own in the process. So we have that digital guide. The next offer is the Ops Clarity Intensive. That is a 90-minute working session where I work directly with the founder or the business owner, and we talk about like what is slowing their team down. So when we have that conversation or that working session, at the end of the call, within 24 hours, they do get a 14-day action plan. And it is tailored around exactly what their pain points were, what their goal is. And then also, they do get a follow-up call where they can schedule that within like 14 to 21 days after they've actually taken time to execute on the action plan. So that's 250. And then the last one is where they have custom consulting. That is more on a case by case basis, depending on exactly what their needs are, what their goal is. And depending on what it is, then there will be a different pricing model. So that is how clients work with us. Now, as far as the client journey, how do they actually get or learn about Courage Catalyst Consulting. So usually working with clients, we do connect through maybe content that's posted on LinkedIn. It could be a referral. Sorry, it could be a referral, relationships as far as networking, partnerships, or even through the training. My dogs are barking. Sorry, y'all. Jesus, sorry, y'all. And then the after we make the connection, of course, then they're able to, we're able to actually have a discussion, and that's where I assess like any current challenges they have, what their priorities are, as well as identify any type of opportunities. Then after we do that, they get recommendations or solutions as well as next steps. And then the fourth step is where they actually execute. Now, this could be if they're doing the ops clarity intensive, then this is when they actually would take the 14-day plan, they will execute themselves. But if it is consulting, it could be where I am the person that is executing on the solutions that I recommended. It really just depends on the package, or the product or the service that they actually chose. As far as the business milestones, I just wanted to share again, this is high level where I did make my first four figures, which I was super excited about. And it was generated through workflow design. I actually facilitated a communications workshop with one of my repeated clients already. I really got great feedback. And of course, it was through the consulting services. I have had at least 6 client engagements. I've received 3 client recommendations. They're listed on LinkedIn. I started my monthly training series. And of course, I joined Four Figures First in January. So a lot of times, like I know we always talk about like how do you know if your business is actually a need or if somebody would actually pay for it. Um, so what I ended up doing first was I did have a strategic collaboration with Empowering Moms, which is a community of moms who are founders. And I was networking with the founder. Her name is Dr. Emily Jacobs. And we met and I told her what my business was. And I actually offered to serve 3 of the entrepreneurs in her group where I did a pilot of the Ops Clarity Intensive. And it had to be 3 women who had actively growing businesses. And once they were selected by her, because they had to do like a challenge first before they were chosen. After they completed the challenge and was chosen, then I reached out to them and then we were able to actually test out the process of the Ops Clarity Intensive. And so when I did 2 of those, because I have a third one that's actually scheduled next week, I got some feedback from one of the entrepreneurs. Her name is Jeanette. And she put on my LinkedIn recommendation, she said I was helpful in identifying gaps in her follow-up process after events. I showed her where missing opportunities were with prospective clients. And when we did the ops clarity intensive, and I gave her a 7-day plan instead of 14 days because it was a pilot, like a giveaway. When I did that, she actually was able to book additional clients. Not only that, she was able to create an email sequence that she did not have in place. She was able to create like a cancellation policy, and she just felt a lot more confident and a lot more organized after we worked together. So that was really cool. And then the other client who is the repeatable client who I facilitated the workshop with, her name is Robin Schwartz. One of the first clients, paid clients, she had paid me to essentially revamp her team's Asana. And so she left some feedback on LinkedIn as well, or recommendation. And she said, I transformed her process into a streamlined Asana ecosystem that significantly boosted their team's organization and productivity. So just having that client validation and having those recommendations from them, it really made me feel good in knowing like I'm actually moving in the right direction, especially because again, I started building this out in January. So It was really helpful. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing with this one pager, and then I'm going to share my screen with the client experience. Real quick, real quick. Okay, and I don't want y'all to see all the things, but I will show you this. Okay. All right, so I was able to create a website. All of these links too that we're going to, they are on the one pager at the very bottom. But this is my website that I created. I feel really good about it because this is where everything is housed at. This is where everybody can go if they're like, hey, what is Courage Catalyst Consulting? I'm curious, what this company is all about. So there is a website here. Talk about the framework of like the pain points that we solve, what we're here to do, what we're here to help with. And so it just goes on and on. And of course, I have to have some testimonials on there, which I actually shared with you all. So this is the home page. Now, what I want to do is just show you again the client experience.
Can
So
you
let's,
go out and go back in? We can't see anything.
oh, okay. Do, where is it? Can you see it now? Sorry, y'all. All right, well, it's essentially my website. This is my home for all things that list all of my services that I actually share with you all on the one pager. And so remember, I talked about the free audit and I built out my first sales page. This is where people first experience Courage Catalyst Consulting, right? This is where I want to build my email list. This is where I want to attract people. And so, of course, I just give the rundown of speaking to their pain points. And they're like, yes, that's me. I want the free ops audit. Okay. Tell me where my bottlenecks are. Tell me where my business is breaking down. Why are things frustrating me? Why am I getting anxiety? And I'm checking my stuff all the time just to see if it's done and see if my team is doing it right. So at the bottom, they just put their name, email address, and then what describes their current situation. Are they a solo founder, small team, or growing team? Okay. When they click get your results, it immediately goes to the self assessment that I talked about. Okay. And they do have 18 questions and it ranges from a scale from 1 to 5. Not true, rarely true, sometimes true, mostly true, or consistently true. Now, it does break, each question is under a different section. So we talk about clarity and ownership. We talk about intake and prioritization, different parts of their operations within their business. Now, based on how they respond in each of the sections, it does give a score out of 15. So for example, clarity and ownership, 2, 4, 3, they got a 9 out of 15. Okay. They're going to do that with all of the questions, all the way down to question 18. They get immediate results here. And this is going to tell them what their overall score is. It's going to tell them exactly like a section breakdown. Where did you score the lowest at? What needs your attention first? Okay, so it says operational chaos. Your section breakdown is workflow, health, and handoffs. That's where the lowest score was. After you do that, just give them a little bit of information like, hey, this is likely what's happening. This is why it's feeling frustrated. And then what I do after that is I have 2 things listed. They can either DIY it and they can get the playbook, the $24.99, or they can get the Ops Clarity Intensive where we actually work together. What they also can do is they save their results. When they save their results, they do get a PDF and it has my contact information on there in addition to their results so they can actually go back and look at it. Because in the playbook, it refers to their results too. So they can use their results and their playbook collectively together. Also, when they actually get their name and, let's say if they busy like Bianca and they like, listen, I can't do this audit right now, but I'm gonna come back to it. They do receive an email And, we thank them. They have to confirm their email because, Kit wants you to confirm your email. And then you could take the ops audit. So there is a button for you to go back to it. Okay. That's the first experience. All right. Second experience, let's say that they're ready to do the DIY. There's a sales page here where you go to playbook.thecodecatalyst.com. It literally speaks to the pain point. It talks about, you tired of operating in chaos. These are the problems that you have. Here's what you get inside. And then also they give you a 3-part framework and all the sort. Okay. It gives you exactly what the transformation is. So you're going from chaos to clarity, and it tells you, or it speaks to your pain points of what was happening before and what will happen after you actually buy the playbook. Now there is a purchase button. When you click get started for $24.99, it does take you to Kit. This is where you would purchase it. After you make the purchase, I already clicked on it. After you make the purchase, of course, you get your receipt. You get to download it. It is a PDF form, and you also get an email. When you do that, you get your invoice too, right? Because we want to make sure people are getting those write-offs that Takesha told us about. So we're going to go ahead. Of course, I did like a little discount, so you can actually see the receipt. And that is the second experience. Third experience is Ops Clarity Intensive. Again, a completely different sales page. This is intensive.thecodecatalyst.com. Okay. All of this is also linked on my website, but this is specifically for this service. Again, we speak to the pain points. We talk about exactly what your ops clarity report is. Remember, you get that 14-day plan after you have your 90-minute session. Go through all of those details. Again, we talk about the transformation that you get. Now, let's say, okay, they're ready to purchase. You're going to click find what's breaking in 90 minutes. They're like, yes, I want this. It goes back to Kit. This is where you actually put in your card information. After you put your card information in, you get a thank you. Okay. After you get the amount paid. So again, you have your receipt so you can get that write-off. Then it literally gives them step by step. Okay, the first step is that they have to complete their intake form. That is connected to HoneyBook. HoneyBook, I created a form where they have to answer all of the questions, just so that I can get an idea of what we're stepping into when we have that session, right? After they complete the intake form, then they will click secure your session time. That goes to TidyCal. That is going to show real time exactly what my availability is. And then, of course, they get to choose what works best for them. So it is, making sure that we're in alignment with each other. Then I tell them what to expect and then what the goal is with the ops clarity intensive. Okay. So when I click here, let's see, it's loading. All right. So this is where the intake form is. Once they put all of this information in about like what workflow should we focus on, what tools do you use? Again, this is the intake form. Once they submit this, I actually get a notification from HoneyBook, so that I'm well aware of what's happening. And then this is TidyCal, excuse me, where it shows exactly like what dates and times. Now, when they do have the ops clarity intensive, they've already paid at this point. So, payment is already taken care of. They can, change the time if they want to. When you actually secure a date and time that works best for you, I do have it set up to where they get a confirmation email. They also get reminders at least a day prior as well as 2 hours prior to their session. And then, of course, again, they can reschedule. They've already paid their money. So, essentially, they have to choose what works best for them. And then this is for the training. I have a sales page here. Again, I do it the third Wednesday of every month. So the next one is going to be on Wednesday, June 17th at 7 p.m. It's free 45-minute training. When they put their name and their email address, they do receive an email excuse me, this is through Kit too. So they receive an email and it has the link of where they can join on LinkedIn. Do. This was just something extra that I was showing. Let me make sure I showed y'all all the things that are needed. When I talked about the Founding Moms Ops Reset, this was the first thing that was closest to the Ops Clarity Intensive. Again, when they were selected, I sent them a "You've been selected" email. Again, I asked them to create complete the intake questionnaire, schedule their session, and then make sure we're connected on LinkedIn. I told them what to expect during the session, gave them expectations. And once they filled out that information and scheduled their time, they were good. Let's see what else I can show you here really quickly. Of course, they had their own calendar, so it just made it feel more customized for them. Sorry. And sorry. One more thing I wanted to show y'all, and then I will be done. I wanted to show you a glimpse of what the Ops Clarity Intensive documentation looked like really quick. So what they get from me after we have a call is I believe in recaps. And so what I did was I had a branded recap. Can y'all see this? I had a branded recap for Jeanette. So she got this almost maybe a couple hours after we got off the phone, right? Because you do want to make sure you're still getting your money's worth in the sort. So we did an overview, what we identified during the call, or what I identified during the call. Exactly like when I talked about her email sequence, like I just broke it down as easy and simplified as possible so that she could understand exactly what her next steps were and what we actually discussed during the call. So yeah, this is just a recap, and this happens with every client. This is not just her. And then I gave her of like, okay, this is here what you want to focus on first. You want to update your giveaway offer because what she was doing was she was giving away a full scan instead of a mini scan, and the full scan is like $300. And we're like, hey, let's just give them like a taste of the scan and not necessarily the whole, experience. So yeah, she got the recap. I even threw some affirmations in there for her because it all starts with mindset. And then within the 24 hours, she did get a 7-day plan as promised. This is listed the same way it is on the website. Gave her a 7-day plan where she literally can go in on Monday. She could check it off, right? It's interactive. Make it as easy as possible. She don't need no pen and paper. She's on the go. She could check it. I did get feedback from her. She said she was able to complete this within she said about 4 days. So she was done early and she was able to see results from it. So I just wanted to share that. And I believe that is all that I have. That is Courage Catalyst Consulting. Again, we want to simplify and help give owners clarity in their business as far as their operations. And so far, so good. Got my first 4 figures, and I'm excited to see what happens next. So that's all I got.
Good job.
Thank you.
What questions y'all got? Take yourself over. Sakisha, we can't hear you.
I was just saying, like, you did a great job. Like, I loved everything. Like, I love me some paper. I was like, yes, with the 7 plans. Everything looked really, really good. You guys all did a great job. I was sitting here like, I want to do one. Oh, you guys did a great job. Love it.
Thank you.
Okay, so
Question.
so
Okay, so I saw that you have 2 free offers, which are great lead magnets. I like the 25.99, the 24.99 because that gives me a chance that's a no-brainer. If I spend 25 and I don't like it, I'm not mad because I just spent 25. there's a jump between 25 to 250, and then there's a jump between 250 to custom. So if I don't have any idea how much a custom consulting is going to cost, I may be a little bit apprehensive because again, the old adage, if you have to ask, you can't afford it. So is there an opportunity for you to create a base custom consulting package that has a figure associated with it, but then they can add on additionals so that then at least I know, because if I don't know how much you charge, I'm not even gonna call you, because if you say it's 5,000 and my budget is 1,000, I've wasted both of our times. But
Mm-hmm.
if you give me a starting point, starts at
Okay.
1,500, starts at 5,000, at least then I know. And then
Okay.
if you say starting at, you're not nailing yourself down to a specific price point, but you're at least giving me some idea as to how much it might cost to work with you if I need more one-on-one help.
Okay. Thank you. I can absolutely do that. And I love that having it because again, it's just about transparency. I think more so what I was kind of waiting on was to see like collecting more data to see exactly what will be the foundation of what a custom consultation may look like, right? So, for example, the client that I'm working with now, her mind is all over the place. She wants communication revamp. She wants, meeting revamp. Internal client versus external client. I was just trying to gather more data to see exactly what would be a need.
Mhm.
But what I can do is I can at least think about, okay, what maybe are some foundational things because they're going to know like what's included in the $1,000, right? So I
Mhm.
definitely can dig in more and see like what could be like a base package and then go from there.
And then if I were you, I
Mhm.
would definitely highlight the things that I enjoy doing
Okay.
so that you are doing more of those things. Because if you leave it open-ended, you could
Okay.
end up doing things that you're skilled to do, but not things particularly that you enjoy doing.
Okay. I could do
So
that.
it's your business, you make your package.
Okay. I will do that.
Another thing that I'm going to add on to what Karen was saying, even if you don't know necessarily like what's included in the package,
Mhm.
think about like at least how long it's going to take you to do it. So maybe it's at 4 hours and you're like, okay, well, I at least want to get paid $200 per hour. Okay, at a minimum, it's $1,000 for these 4 items, 4 hours. That way, at least you're being compensated for your time, regardless of what you're doing within that time period.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
And I will come up with a framework for it. You know what I'm saying? Like you had your 3 C's was your thing that you had on there. So for your consultant package, like that could be it. Like we go over the 3C framework and these are the deliverables that you get and have your standard templates and standard flow, like cause then that's your base. Like you're not showing up for less than $1,500 and this is what you know what I'm saying, like they get for that particular $1,500. And I always focus on if I was the client at this level, what are the main things that I would want to work on in that 30 to 90-day mark? Like those is the
Okay.
base for the base price. If
Okay.
they want to add on, then you can. But I would at least try to do the 1,500 first, get a couple of those, and then once you start getting those, then you'll be able to talk to more people to figure out what else you want to add to it. But your 15 could be your base. And also remember,
Okay.
like I told you, you need to go to the feecalculator.com to figure out what that 1,500 really is. The 1,500 is like $148 probably taken in fees. Do you want your whole 15? I want my whole 1,500.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pricing it at 16.99 because I want my whole 1,500. You can't do a profit plan based on the
Yeah.
fees to the T. So make sure that your fees are to the T of what it is that you want. But I feel like also you said 250 for the 14-day action plan. Is that just to start, and then you're gonna go up on the price? Because I felt like that 250 was low. two, because you go from 250 to 1,000. Well, 250 to 1,500. So for
Mhm.
250, I get the 14-day plan. You already laid the foundation for the 250, but not the foundation for the 1,500. So some of that stuff you're doing in that 250 needs to go to that 1,500 because you're doing a whole bunch for that 250, and I might not. If you saw my problem at 250, why I'm
Yeah.
paying this 50, why I'm paying this
Yeah.
1,500? Like, it gotta be something that, and you gotta bake in a follow up and then a follow up. Like, why I'm going to 15 if I'm able to now cram everything I need into this fifth, you know what I'm saying? Like this 250.
Hmm.
So I
Yeah.
want you to look at both of them to figure out from the 250, maybe that's just one C that we dive in on, but now you need these other three. And so this is what we work on to go. Like, you don't have a smooth transition to the upsell from the 250 to go
Hmm.
there. Sometimes though, if sometimes you're able to solve a problem, one quick problem within that 250, and just give them work to do and just keep letting them book 250 calls, and build
Hmm.
their own package. But some
Yeah.
people want more hand holding and more
Yeah.
support at that $1,500 rate. So I would look at both of those.
Yeah, and that was with the client that we were working with together. Originally, it started with just, me assessing, diagnosing, and giving recommendations. And then she was like, "No, I want you to do it. Like, can you come in? Can you facilitate the workshop?" And that's when we jumped up, right? So, like, it,
Uh-huh.
it did originally start from me making recommendations, and they like, "Yeah, no, we don't want to do this. We want you to do it." So then that's when we went up.
Okay.
But yeah, that was man, that was probably the closest to a real case scenario that I had. And I looked up and we did Zelle, so I ain't had no fees that time. But
Oh,
I,
good job.
but I definitely be using the fee calculator. So
Okay. But I think you did an excellent job as one of the people that started while we were in it, and to see the work that you've put into just having an idea to building it out. I think you did an amazing job in these 6 months of really putting in the work and implementing it after every month. And I could clearly see you learned and then implemented and learned and implemented. And then we tweaked in real time, you know what I'm saying? And then we got a client in real time and negotiated the client in real time, because you were prepared and that you was ready. And so I just want to commend you for even putting yourself out there to even get this client and, negotiating, even though you were scared, what I'm saying? We went through with
who
the
I was scared.
yeah. You tell them, what if she say, well, let her go? Shit.
Who I
Bye.
was scared to tell.
Like, what if she say, let her go? She won't you. But I think you did an excellent job. And so I'm super proud of just the idea to how it has come. So, and you did a good job. So I don't have no notes.
Thank you.
Welcome. And last but not least, though, okay? Last but not least, it's Monica. Let's go, Monica. Where you at? She not here? Where'd she go? You see Monica? Did she go? Is she not going? Do you see her? I don't see her.
I don't see her either.
But she was on.
She was on.
Let me ask her if she, maybe she better bring her back.
Yeah, let's tag her in. I'm tagging her in WhatsApp.
Come on. You ready? You ready? Come on now. Let's see. Hopefully, where's she at? Did she say she didn't want to go? She didn't say she didn't want to go. Well, let me see. Let me see if she emailed me. I don't think she. Let me see if she emailed. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, she's not saying nothing, so I feel like we should move on. Going once, going twice. And I just called her too. So, okay. So we need it's 9:02, come back at 9:10, and then we'll have our results of who we think of who won. So come back at 9:10. You guys can log up and then come back at 9:10 and we'll let you back in the room.
You want to just create a breakout room?